Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopa kumaraya govindaya namo namaha Pankajanaಭಾಯ ನಮಃ ಪಂಕಜಮಾಲಿನೆ ನಮಃ ಪಂಕಜನೇತ್ರಾಯ ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಪಂಕಜಾಂಗ್ರೇ ನಮೋ ಮಹಾಬದನ್ಯಾಯ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಪ್ರದಾಯತೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಯ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ನಾಮಿನೇ ಗೌರತ್ವಿಷೇ ನಮಃ ನಮೋ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣ್ಯಾಯ ದೇವಾಯ ಗೌಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣಾಯಿತಾಯ ಚ ಜಗದ್ದಿದಾಯ ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಯ ಗೋವಿಂದಾಯ ನಮೋ ನಮಃ Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Radhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can you off this fan? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam to all wonderful Vaishnavas who have come here. Who have come here for the first time, please accept my humble obeisances. And we'll continue with this seminar series that we were taking last week to art of giving and receiving feedback. Someone gave me a feedback after the seminar. It was a little heavy. I said, I am also heavy. What to do? My guru is also heavy on me. But this seminar is actually meant for practicing devotees, right? People who are practicing devotion, who have already given some level of surrender in this path, they can easily relate to and understand. If others feel it's a little heavy on you, please forgive me. You are still at the right place, hearing the right thing. Don't worry about that aspect. Okay. So, brief recap, for some who have not attended it last week, right? So, how important it is to receive feedback in our spiritual life. Even in a material life, we ask for feedback, but many of us don't think we need feedback. So that's always the little bit of hypocritical angle we have that, I have figured out everything in life, I don't need feedback. But out of humility or for the sake of, having a dialogue with our superior, sometimes say, Prabhu, okay, you can give feedback, or I need feedback. And especially when it comes from juniors, I don't know what we think when we get feedback. Most of the time we think, he is telling whatever he is very immature. Let him give the feedback. Let me see how to make him happy by showing that, I'm taking feedback, but actually I'm not taking feedback. So this seminar is actually going to help us develop a consciousness of giving and receiving feedback. Even for giving, we need some level of, consciousness to give feedback. And should we give feedback? Should we ever feel that we should give feedback? Yes, that's also a service. Don't think giving feedback means you are something great. No, you don't have to be anything great to give feedback. Right? You are giving feedback to help somebody. Right? So you can always, for example, somebody in that corner is not able to hear to me. I am speaking here. Should they tell or no that I am not able to hear? Feedback. Right? Prabhu, I can't hear you. Is there a good feedback or a bad feedback? It's a good feedback. So giving feedback for making spiritual progress in your life and helping some other person, maybe in a small way, not expecting too much, giving feedback is good. So last week we discussed about, we offer many prayers, but many times we speak about our struggles in life with God. Right? Everybody of us, we go in front of altar. I'm not going to go in detail. We literally spoke a lot of time on this. The part 1 is there in the recording. You can watch it. So we admit the same mistakes again and again. When we go in front of God, how many have admitted the same mistake again and again? Even today morning you admitted the same mistake again. Just now also you're admitting the same mistake again and again. So here is Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Maya, Sudarshan. They all are celebrating their first anniversary. Right? All glories to Santosh Ayate Prabhu, Padmavati Mataji, Prabhuji and their whole family for choosing to celebrate it with us. And they have also sponsored today's feast. So there is a very special feast today. Lot of effort. This is devotees' love with the deities, prime deities in their house. Right? Actually, they are the owners of the house. We are tenants. Right? So many times when other people, they call, some people from outside, come to our house. They say, come to our house. What do devotees tell? Come to Jagannath's house. Or come to Gaur Nitai's house. Come to Radha Krishna's house. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Very sincere family. Every week they come from such a far distance and the first ones to come. So I'm very grateful for their enthusiasm, setting a good example for all of us, Prabhuji. For me at least. Thank you. Whole family is filled with devotees. His wife, Prabhuji's brother. What's his name now?
Abhishek.
Initiated name?
No,
Not it? Okay, Abhishek.
Uncle and aunt are getting initiated.
Oh, by Japataka Maharaj, yeah. When?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Hari Bol. His uncle and aunt are getting initiated. Hare Krishna. Such a beautiful situation, right? Yeah. So we admit our mistakes, same mistakes again and again. We continue the same offenses. It's very difficult to accept in public, but I am accepting in public. I continue the same offenses. But I pray. I am intensely praying. बोलते हैं ना बेशरम होना चाहिए भगवान से. At least in front of God, become that, just go and admit. Please help me. Never we should feel that, we figured it out. We figure it out. Krishna, I think I'm all fine now. You can take care of somebody else. No, please give your time to me. I need it. Desperately I need it. For till when?
Always.
Till eternity. Even after going to Goloka, take care of me. Because again, I don't want to come back here. I don't know why. Many times Prabhupada gave the answer that you don't ask that question why you came here. First you get out of here. And then go there and ask that question to Krishna or figure it out then. Right? So, many times Acharyas want to give an answer, but they know that we can't understand. Because we don't have the level of faith to understand. So, don't think some questions are unanswered. Every question can be answered. Some you can understand, some you can't understand. Right? So, when we cry in front of God, what do? One side story. Always. Who knows the other side? He knows. Just imagine you're crying and he's like, Chapura, chapu. Bolo, jo bolna hai, bolo. He knows the other side also. We promise to change each time. Yes. Promise. How many promises we have made in front of God? We ask for help and then forget Him. Many times. Forget Him. We ask for strength to surrender, but we don't surrender. Krishna, please give me the strength to surrender. But the right when opportunity comes to surrender, I'm like, maybe next time. Maybe some other time. Or maybe only this much. Krishna, that much surrender I can't do. That Pandavas can do, I can't do. Prahlad Maharaj can do, I can't do. So that thing happens. Does Krishna give us feedback when we admit our position in front of Him? Yes and no. No, because He already knows your situation. Why He has to give feedback? He knows your next 20,000 lives. He already knows. So He may not give feedback, but yes, He gives feedback through devotees. Provided we go to satsang. Right? If you sit in our house, then how will he give feedback? Right? See, he can come and appear in front of you. Actually, Krishna is ready to appear in front of you. You might be thinking, Prabhuji, dikhta hi nahi mere ko. He is not coming because if he comes, you will not treat him nicely. Or you don't value him nicely. Even right now, 30th March 2025, he'll appear here in front of you. Suddenly you can have, my Chakshu, oh Chakshu Darshan, I can see. Then Krishna will say, come. Tomorrow is holiday, we already made some plans. Maybe day after I'll come. Or Krishna maybe, we might be thinking like that. How many here are fearful of death? So how do you think we are ready? If you are ready, there should not be any fear of death. Isn't it? There should not be any fear of death. Because death, after death, Krishna is there, he's taking us out. Some level of fear is there, some ambiguity is there. But it's okay, he understands. Right? But he gives his feedback through his devotees. That is the reason people who attend satsangs regularly, wherever they are, any part of the world, will make progress. Because that's an opportunity for them to hear from God. If you don't hear from God, what other way can God speak to you? He's speaking to you as Archa Vigraha. Can you hear him? No, I don't have the consciousness to hear him. He does speak. He speaks as Paramatma. Are we listening to him? We are listening, but we are not taking him seriously. But devotees are a medium that can come right in front of you and tell it. Right? And just say it, what you need to hear. But that will only happen when we go in front of devotees. Right? Okay? So for receiving feedback, what is the consciousness? Receiving feedback and working on it is an art which requires humility, honesty, and sincerity. These three things are needed. Even in material life, some of us, some of your students, you will be getting into colleges, you will receive feedback. And when you receive feedback, just keep aside your intelligence. Sometimes you should keep aside your intelligence and just say, thank you. You are giving me a feedback. Something that I cannot see in me, you are able to see. And often people who love you only give feedback. Or people who care for you only give feedback. Why do you give feedback? Tell me. But unfortunately, we don't value the people who give us feedback. Right? We think they are a disturbance in my life. Who is the person who sees you for the maximum time in your life? Spouse only. Why are you hesitating to tell? Parents also don't see you for such a long time. Once you get settled down, you leave the house, or at least in Kaliuga now, we are leaving the house, otherwise we used to stay together. But spouse is a person. It's a wife or husband, doesn't matter. They are the people who actually maximum, in Grahastha Ashram, they are the ones who spend the maximum time with us. And they see us, what we are going through, ups and downs, highs and lows, everything they are watching. Our spiritual growth also they are watching. Right? They are the maximum recipients of Krishna's mercy through them telling us what we need to do in life. But they are the only people we don't want to hear the feedback from. Just imagine. No. Out of all the persons, you are telling me feedback? Of course. He is tolerating you for such a long time. She is tolerating you for such a long time. And Krishna is speaking through them. Prabhuji, whatever I am saying is not easy, but that's the truth. That's a Vaishnava in your house, or a Vaishnavi in your house. Bilumangal Das Thakur, a great sannyasi in our Gaudiya Vaishnavism, he took feedback from a prostitute. Right? And he was not even in a consciousness to receive that feedback. He went there to enjoy her. Jumping into the house, literally holding a snake, not knowing it is snake, and climbing to the balcony and then jumping in the balcony. And his father died. And he did not choose to go to his father's funeral. Ignoring that, he chose to go to this prostitute who he is so much attracted to, Chintamani, her name. And on the way, he was trying to cross the river, and he found, some kind of log that he could hold on to so it doesn't sink, doesn't drown. And the log happens to be his wife's dead body, who was behind him to save him, she herself died. She started floating. Whatever happened. He did not even care what was happening in his life. All focus was, I want to go and enjoy the body of that prostitute. Or rather, my body. And in that consciousness, Chintamani gives him a feedback that if this kind of attraction you had towards God, you would have gone back to Krishna. My God, just imagine, it's very difficult to even imagine. And in that situation, Bilawangal Das Thakur declares that you are my Guru. You are my Guru. Chintamani, you are my Guru. You have told me what I need to hear. And actually, it is him in his past life who committed some offenses and became less serious in his spiritual life. And he had to take another life in a family of rich aristocratic people. He was born in a very rich family, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. And through that, he went into bad association. And then his guru, who initiated him, who took the responsibility of taking him back, appeared back as a prostitute. Can you imagine the mercy of a guru there? He's appearing as a prostitute to deliver his disciple who was attracted to the opposite sex. And the words, there are devotees who say that it was his guru or his guru spoke through the prostitute. Right? But either ways, guru had to come to that point and tell him feedback. At that point, he did not argue that who are you to tell me you are anyway such a filthy person. No, he took the humility. He had the honesty and sincerity to receive the feedback. Thank you very much. And then he wrote bhajans on Krishna. Bilawangal Das Thakur bhajans are most sweetest. Chaurashtakam. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So many. These are too popular, but so many bhajans. So, how can we accept a person who was so attracted to a opposite sex writing these bhajans? Prabhujis and Matajis, the contamination that we carry in this material world is temporary. Prabhupada always said, don't ever hate the deceased, hate the disease. Right? Anybody who's coming to our satsang, behaving properly, inappropriately, whichever way, or in our life also, if you want to really fix that person, if you want to really help that person, be compassionate. Right? These are the qualities that we need to give. Feedback for someone else's mistakes is also an act which requires responsibility, maturity, and a well-wishing heart. Well-wishing heart, we need. Without having a well-wishing heart, we can't be a preacher. Right? Well-wishing heart means he has to be compassionate. If you're not compassionate and we are trying to give Krishna consciousness to others, at some point we are going to fail. We need to have a well-wishing heart. Sometimes a mother shouts at the daughter or a father shouts at a son. Why? He's concerned. That's it. Or she's concerned. They don't know what else to do. An elder brother shouts at a younger brother. Why? Because, see, elders have seen the world. They know what you are going to face in future. They know what you're going to face. And your current behavior is not ready to face that situation. And before you face that, he is taking the responsibility of correcting you now. There is no other reason. There cannot be no other reason. But at a point where, if there is no love and compassion, then no feedback, na? Live the way you want to live. Right? How many people outside, we don't want to give feedback? Many, right? Because you're already in a lot of, trauma in life, you're going through so many, I don't want to add one more. Right? But a sannyasi doesn't think like that. That a great devotee doesn't think like that. He's always giving feedback through his behavior. Sometimes with his words, but mostly with his behavior. Wow, what a signature. Right? Frame it and keep it in your house. Every morning, go pay obeisances to the signature. A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is not there, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. And at the top, he always imprints and writes, your ever well-wisher. So Prabhupada gives his feedback. Does Prabhupada give feedback to us? How does he give feedback? To his purports. Every purport of Prabhupada, just open a book, any book. Just randomly open the book. You'll see a purport. At the beginning of the purport, write your name. Dear Lilanandas. And then read the purport. You'll actually feel he's talking to you. He'll actually feel he's talking to you. He is talking through his purports, Prabhujis, Matajis. You just have to prefix it with your name. Every purport is talking to us. It's a beautiful letter of love. The Prabhupada, it's a love letter. Have you seen a book with 18,000 love letters? Yes, it's Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? A book with 700 love letters? Bhagavad Gita. They're all compassionate Acharya giving to us, saying, please hear it and fix your life. Many a times. There have been so many people in the past who have translated scriptures, but nobody had so much compassion to pour his heart into it and say that, please read my books. Whenever Prabhupada said, in the initial days when I used to hear somebody say, please read my books, Prabhupada, he's so egoistic to tell, please read my books. No, I used to feel like that, I had a doubt. But later, after reading, I understood, my God, he's telling because he really cares. Like a father is giving feedback to his son, his grandson. We're all grandsons of Prabhupada. So he's giving feedback through the purports. Bhagavatam class, feedback through purports. You read the purport, it's enough. So there are 4 combinations, Prabhuji and Mataji. These are the 4 combinations we'll discuss. Good combination. That means what? Good giver, good receiver. Good giver, bad receiver. Bad giver, good receiver. And the 4th is ultimate. Bad and bad. Even the person giving feedback doesn't have good intention. Receiving feedback also doesn't have good intention. Right? Can something good come out of it? Yes. Let us see how. So, good giver to good receiver, we discussed about Dhruva Maharaj. Right? On length we discussed. But briefly, he was profusely going against the Yakshas because his brother was killed, Uttam, was killed in Himalayas. He took the Dhanush of Naranarayan Rishi and he started finishing the entire race of Yakshas. And the king of Yakshas is Kubera. And his great-grandfather, Swayambhu Manu, he said, hey, what are you doing? Dhruva, you were blessed by God himself at the age of 5 years. Arey, you took darshan of God. Don't you know that everything is sanctioned by God? Yes, your brother Uttam was killed. Yes, that is very painful to you. But don't you think the person killing is only one of the factors behind it? God is also, he has sanctioned it. And why are you killing the whole race when one person is responsible? And in that moment of war, I mean, like, can you give feedback to somebody who's punching you? In between? Or somebody who's punching somebody, you go and give feedback in between? What will happen? He'll punch you also. Right? Many referees in boxing match, they're very careful, Very careful because the movement is like a very, very, passionate movement. In that you go and say, no, you should not have done like this. Now it's right. So many times. So this is actually a very difficult situation in which Dhruva is being told feedback. Where he's having, if you read Bhagavatam 4th canto, you will be amazed to see the way Sukadeva Goswami explains the war. What all the yakshas are throwing, how is he contracting? They're disappearing, they're appearing, again they're contracting, again it's a very dramatic war. It's a very dramatic war. And in between that, Swayambhu Manu says, hey, Dhruva, you shouldn't be doing this war and you shouldn't be killing yakshas like this because only one has done a mistake. And by the way, you had darshan of Krishna. What are you trying to do? It is sanctioned by Krishna. Uttam had to die. Don't be so revengeful. An immediate reaction of Dhruva is humility, sincerity, and what? Simple heart. Yes, thank you. Before I did more damage, you came and stopped me. You came and stopped me. Prabhuji, do we really value the feedback of devotees like that in our life? We have to. How else will Krishna speak to us? Right? So we discussed about it last week. You can hear details more. Another great combination is Krishna and Arjuna. My God, what a feedback, what a receiver. Huh? Arjuna, who did his PhD from Saptarishi universities. Right? People become very puffed up when they do PhD. Right? And of course, it's a very rare thing that people do PhD. How many PhDs do we have in the planet? Very less. And people put a lot of effort to become that. But so much ego also comes along. Now I'm specialist in something. Right? Arjuna was specialist in everything. Everything. He was the greatest king, he was the greatest warrior, the greatest student, greatest husband, greatest friend, everything. And he decided not to do the war. Right? In the nth moment, he decided not to do the war. And he's giving reasons. I'll not do. He's not telling Krishna in the beginning, can I not do? No, he's telling, I'll not do. And he keeps the Dhanush down, saying that I'm done. Actually, if he keeps Gandiv down, that means, he's not going to do the war. He's not going to do the war. Right? And then Krishna, look at Krishna. Hari Bol, this is the greatest exciting character, the greatest amazing person. Actually, when Chaitanya Charan Prabhu was here, the 9 series that he took, Prabhuji and Mataji's, it's gold. It's gold. Where he explained how Krishna dealt with every person in Mahabharata. My God. And look at the way he's dealing with Arjuna. Hey Pandita, you're speaking like Pandita? Asocha manva sochasvam, prajnavadam se bhachache, vada you're doing? No anusochanti Pandita? You're speaking like a Pandita? Look at the words that he uses. Oh son of Prita, do not yield to this degrading importance. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastisers of the enemy. At the end, he is also praising, O chastisers of the enemy. But what is he beginning with? Impotent fellow. If somebody calls you impotent, how will you feel? Nice feedback, Prabhuji. Like that. You're going to get up and go from there. Go hell with your relationship. How dare you call me impotent? And who is he calling him as impotent? A person who defeated the entire Kuru army single-handedly. In Virata Yuddha war, he actually defeated all the Maharathis of Hastinapur single-handedly. Right? And he is being told, impotent? That's called real feedback, Prabhuji. That's called real feedback. And what is the answer for that? Thank you. Actually, I deserve to be given feedback. Because I am a karpanya doshi. I am not able to decide. I am a miser who cannot decide things properly. Thank you. You are my guru. I am accepting. And you are the only one who can tell this. And I want you only to tell this. I want you to resolve my doubts, Krishna, why I should do what. And Krishna finally says, okay, so you chose me as guru, so no other place. Sarva dharman parityajya. Mam ekam sharanam raja. And forget about all the sins. What a feedback, what a giver and what a receiver. Isn't it? Yeah. So we should learn this. When Arjuna did not have any problem in receiving feedback, who are we? Right? Who are we? And what are we going to achieve in this life? By not receiving feedback, by not accepting feedback. Right? You are sitting in the class and you are sleeping. Of course, it happens. But if the speaker says, Prabhu, why are you sleeping? Receive that feedback. Whatever you have to do to not sleep, do it. If you justify saying, Prabhu, I have service in the morning, bro, this bro, that bro, then who is at loss here? Why have you come all the way till here to sleep? Why have you come here? To sleep? No. You have put so much effort to come here to hear something that Krishna wants to tell you through his devotees. If you come here and sleep, is it not the responsibility of the speaker to tell Prabhu, don't sleep? And by saying so, he is actually helping us. And many times I've seen devotees just go and stand in between the class. Why? Because they're feeling sleepy. Right? If you're so tired, then you can actually go and take a rest. But we have to make ourselves, ready to hear from Krishna when we come to satsang, because satsang only happens once in a day, so once in a week. And on top of that, we also bunk some satsangs because of so many other people, right? So many other people, so many other reasons also. The other day I was giving a class and I asked, who are one of the primary reasons you are not coming to satsang? My relatives. So reverse feedback. My relatives are coming home. Rakta Sambandhulu, Prabhuji, blood relation. And blood relation, we should maintain. Satsang, we should maintain a blood relation. I am also a very egoistic fellow. I told, blood relation? Even a mosquito is blood related. Is it not blood related? Rakta Sambandhi kada? Doma? And that fellow will come suck your blood. Blood relation, right? Anybody, for a serious devotee, as I said in the beginning, this is for serious practitioners, this class. You want to go back to Krishna, anybody who is not serious in allowing you to go on that path, even though he's a blood relative, but he's a mosquito. He's only going to suck your blood and make you more weaker and weaker and weaker. Bad association makes you weaker and weaker and weaker. We should recognize who is what kind of blood relative. And our greatest blood relative is right there. Is there anybody more related with blood than him? Huh? Janma after Janma, he is supplying blood to us. Right? Waiting for us. This is the time we should prioritize in our lives, Prabhuji. There is no question of negotiation here. You want to go back? Done. Plan to go back. Today is Ugadi. I am so appreciative. So everybody of you have come. Ugadi evening was the best time to watch 3 movies in one stroke. In my college days, or 3 movies. Right? Like a competition. And then go and tell people next day, I watched 3 movies. Right? And that too, one of them is Hum Aapke Kaun. 4-hour movie. If you don't know, don't watch that movie. But I'm just telling you. Not like 3 English movies. They're 1.5. Big movies. And then it's a sense of Ugadi, I watched 3 movies. Shivaratri, I watched 5 movies. Lord Shiva is thinking, Ide na batku? You are putting water on me and you are going and watching movies. What is the essence? Actually, we are celebrating Ugadi in the most best way by putting our heads in front of Jagannath. This is the best Ugadi. Isn't it? This is the best Ugadi. Jagannath, why did he create all these festivals? It's a new beginning. Ugadi means a new beginning. Right? So, it's a new beginning to receive feedback. Right? So, receive feedback for the whole year, upcoming year. Hare Krishna. What other? Who else? Hari Bol. The best feedback ever given. Between Narada and Vyasa. My God. What are we in front of these great personalities? How many here have written 1 book in life? Huh? If I give a book and a paper and say, write about your spouse, you'll write 10 books also. Right? But in that, it's all biased feedback, right? I'm right, that person is wrong. I'm right and that person is wrong. At the end, sometimes you'll say, no, that person also right, I'm wrong. But again, your conclusion is, I'm right, that person is wrong. Right? Here, Vedavyas has written Vedas. The greatness of Vedas, as against any other book, is Vedas, every word is for benefit of all. And not any ordinary person can write it. And in this yuga, Swayam Krishna has come as Dvapayana Vyasa. Krishna Dvapayana Vyasa. And he himself is writing. And after writing the whole thing, Narad Muni comes and says, gives a feedback. And what kind of feedback? I'll just focus on the quick second verse. He says, Vayasam Tirtham. He says, your entire literature is something that crows will feed. Just imagine. Vyasdev. How can he take such kind of feedback? But he took the feedback. Right? Crows feed on the most filthiest thing, even though all choices are given. So when Narad Muni is coming and telling, beautifully is telling, you have written everything, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is for crows. Where is God in that? Right? Where is God in that? Where did you glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead? And he immediately took that feedback. Prabhuji then. Now, you might be just listening to this. Can you take a feedback after your class? Prabhuji, what kind of lecture you gave, Prabhuji? You heard this lecture for 2 hours, thinking all bad about me in your heart. And then coming and telling me, Prabhuji, what 3rd class lecture you gave? Actually, nobody tells that. I wish somebody comes and tells like that. Right? Kabhi to sudhar jao, give proper lecture, give proper. People get that feedback, especially professors in colleges, they get that feedback. That what you told, your lectures are not being liked by children. My God, what a feedback. How much it hits their ego, right? I am a teacher here. Who the hell is a student to come and tell me that? An unfortunate thing now it is happening in schools also. Right? Because we want to treat our bachas like kings. We puff them up so much that they have an audacity to go and tell their parents that their lecturer is a useless fellow. And that parent is even believing that my son is capable of judging the lecturer. Where is the question of education? Tell me. Parent-teacher meeting means what? Who is giving feedback to whom? Parent is giving child's feedback to the teacher. That is parent-teacher meeting. Mataji knows, right? Nirupa Mataji, she is a very senior teacher in international school. It's a very horrible situation. The teacher wants to give feedback but very hesitant. Very hesitant. I don't know what this fellow will, how will he react. Because their job will be at stake if they give proper feedback. Right? But anyway, here is Veda Vyas, the father of all teachers, the father of all PhDs, being given a direct feedback, not even indirect. Saying what? Those words which do not distribute the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly persons to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows. Vayasam Tirtham. And he further goes that nobody will read your books. My God, that is even horrible. Then he says, since all perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not derive any pleasure from them. Nobody will buy your books. Just imagine the person who finished documenting the entire 4 Vedas, and Ganeshji also might be wondering what is going on here. I did all the help, right? I did all the... and nobody is going to read what I have written. My God. Right? And then Vedavyas goes and tells Ganeshji, let's start again. We missed a very important portion. Srimad Bhagavatam, Amala Puranam. Right? Spotless. Let's write some. And that gives happiness to Ganeshji. Vedavyas, Narad Muni also, and Srila Prabhupada. Right? And all of us when we read Bhagavatam. So this is good receiver and good giver and good receiver combination. Very good, very good. So what are the characteristics of good giver? This we discussed on length, Prabhuji's last week. I'm not taking more time again. Well-wishing heart is needed. No superiority complex. The person who is giving feedback should not feel I am the best person to give feedback. I think I can only give feedback. I think I have to give feedback. Nobody else can give feedback. All the superiority complex. Pride should not be there that I am the best person to give feedback. No ulterior motive behind the feedback. Right? I am giving the feedback for my benefit some way. Huh? Following by an example. I should set the example before I give feedback. Huh? Very difficult. Respect for the receiver. Good hearer and not just good speaker. What does it mean? Person giving feedback should be good hearer. Normally people say, Prabhuji, to give feedback we should be a good speaker. No, you should be a good hearer first. Hear out what the opposite person had to say, then give feedback. Characteristics of good receiver. Honest to admit, he is honestly admitting. Humble to listen. Sincere to work on the correction. No ulterior motive to ignore the feedback. Respect for the giver, most important. Tolerance for correction. I am ready to be corrected. I am tolerant. And good speaker and not just receiver. Not just hearer. Now, what is the opposite role? Yeah. You should be able to explain your plea without any hesitation. Right? Then you will get a proper feedback. Both the ways. Now there are some factors which are over and above these qualities, which you also have to factor. Like what? Like somebody is giving a feedback, but is giving in a very loud way. Prabhuji, you are not a good giver of feedback because you are speaking loudly. No, there are many factors like number of times, repeated instance of the incident that can supersede, right? Or what is at stake? Why is this feedback being given? Something very, bad is going to happen if you don't give the feedback. Right? Sometimes these factors make the giver and receiver in a different way. Right? Relationship between the two, they are very close to each other. They can give feedback to each other. Differently they can give. And you cannot judge looking at those feedback. What kind of feedback? Like Advaita Acharya, he called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his house for serving lunch. And then Nityananda Prabhu also was called. Nityananda Prabhu was sitting and having lunch. And Advaita Acharya looks at Nityananda Prabhu saying, oh, what a Paramahamsa eating so much. Like, oh, eat nicely. And Nityananda Prabhu says, oh, as if you cooked very nicely, I'm eating it. Then Advaita Acharya says, you eat now, anyway, I've come here to eat only. Right? The whole Samvada is filled with, if you read that without context, you're like, why are they speaking like this? And Nityananda Prabhu gets up, takes the prasad, throws it. Go, you and your food. And the food falls on Advaita Acharya. He starts dancing. Hari bol! I've got the Maha of a Maha Paramahamsa. On me, throwed it. Now, what kind of feedback is this? Relationship between the two. Sometimes it's very important to understand both the people, what kind of relation they have when they are giving feedback and receiving feedback from each other. Don't be a judge. History of such instances, how many times it has repeated, right? Criticality of the incident, again, what's at stake, same thing. Present situation before the discussion. Prabhu, this is a very important one. Huh? Just before giving feedback, what did he go through? Or just before receiving feedback, what did he go through? Maybe he just had some very rough incident before coming to satsang, right? And then he is trying to give feedback. Maybe the way he is giving feedback is different. Or the person who is receiving feedback has just gone through a fight in the house or on the way in the car. And he came back, already got bashed in the car, receiving feedback. And now he comes and says, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhu, I don't like the way you're doing. And that person, Prabhuji, just now, half an hour in traffic, he got feedback. Now I'm coming to satsang, again you're giving feedback. So you should also understand what that person is going through or just gone through. Right? Of course, you can say, Prabhuji, I'm not Paramatma to understand. Right? But give some benefit of doubt. Most important. Always give a benefit of doubt. Right? When you give a benefit of doubt, things fall in place. Okay, here is where we stopped last week. Right? Here is where we stopped. Always give a benefit of doubt to either, whether you're a receiver or a giver. Any questions at this point, Prabhuji? Before we go forward? Okay, we can go. Are ready for the feedback? I'm not giving any feedback. I'm receiving here. I just need to repeat. This is a chapter in a beautiful book called The Secrets of Bhakti by His Grace Gaurang Darshan Prabhu. You can buy that book. I just converted the chapter article into a seminar and I added few more things. Right? Whatever I heard from different other. From Gopal Krishna Maharaj, I heard a lecture. From there, I added something. From Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, I heard something. I added that. Right? So, trying to culminate it so it's helpful. Don't worry about this presentation. I'm going to send in the group. Like Chaitanya Charan Prabhu says, right? There is no copyright in ISKCON. You have a right to copy. So, this lecture will come to everybody. I don't know what you'll do with that. Whom you'll show it as your feedback. It's your wish. Good giver but bad receiver. He had good intention, but receiving person is not in a good consciousness. Haribol. Who is this? It is King Vena and the sages. Right? The sages were giving feedback to King Vena that your behavior is not right. You are not ruling the kingdom correctly. But he didn't receive the feedback properly. He was being given with good intention. Actually, who made Vena the king? The same Brahmanas. They only made him the king. It was not like he was nominated. They made him the king. Because now that the king is gone, kingdom needs a king. And he was not an ordinary king. The king was going to rule the planet. And he came from a very good progeny, but unfortunately a wrong person. Wrong consciousness. Feedback was given. But he replied. King Vena replied, you are not at all experienced. It is very much regrettable that you are maintaining something which is not religious and are accepting it as religious. Indeed, I think you are giving up your real husband who maintains you and are searching after some paramour to worship. My God, what a strong statement. Sages are telling, Arey, you should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You should make arrangements that we can worship the God properly. Hey Vena, you are the king. Your job is to serve the Brahmanas. And what is Vena saying? Actually, you should serve me. I am your real God. I am the king. Don't you know? Did you not read the scriptures? That king is also a representative of God. Forget about representative. He is God. I am God. You have to listen from me. Right? It can even happen anywhere, Prabhu. Even a preacher can start thinking, you have to listen from me. Because I am the only preacher on the planet. No guest preachers are allowed here. Because they are guests, I am the real one. Right? Matta parataram nanyat kinchit. There is no preacher better than me nor equal to me. I am Sarvasva Prabhavo. Right? You can use the same Bhagavad Gita to all wrong conclusions, right? It's all dependent on your... That's why you should not hear Bhagavad Gita from a non-devotee. Very dangerous. Any scripture, you can interpret in your own way and take advantage of you. That's what is happening outside. Today, gurus are telling that they are gods and they are exploiting people. Right? Can everybody just come a little in the front? They're coming and they don't have... Yeah. Small feedback. Give a little space for others. Hare Krishna. So, here is Vena. And what is the response after that? The Brahmanas had no other choice. Now they gave subtle feedback, now they have to give gross feedback. The great sages, thus, maintaining their covert anger, immediately decided to kill the king. In the history of Bhagavad, this is one of the very unique incidents where a Brahmana who is known for his tolerance and so many things had to take the decision of killing the king. King Vena was already as good as dead due to his blasphemy against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, without using any weapons, the sages killed King Vena simply by high-sounding words. By chanting mantras, you are finished. Can you believe it? You think nuclear weapons are better? You still have to launch it. Here, there is no need to launch. Khatam. Sages, purity is the force, Prabhuji. They were not ordinary sages. Right? They were Bhagavatas. So Prabhuji and Mataji, one beautiful sentence in this, Sukadeva Goswami is saying that he was already dead. He was already dead. How? When anybody blasphemes God, he is considered dead. When anybody who is hesitant to give himself to God is a dead person in the planet. He's a dead person. What is so beautiful about it? You are hesitant to show that you are a devotee. That is also a dead person. Right? Spiritual life means surrender internally, externally. Both is important. Both is important at all times. Of course, we should not judge people, but you should understand. My surrender is, I want to show my surrender externally also. Like when a sannyasi comes or a senior devotee is coming, you should immediately pay obeisances. Right? For a sannyasi, it's complete dandavat. For a senior devotee or even any devotee, just vancha kalpatarubhyasya, half dandavat you can do. Right? Half dandavat meaning not half dandavat, it's like, what do you say that mudra? Huh? Panchangam. Yeah, Pancha Anga Pranam. Yeah, that you have to do. Now, there is another thing that I heard from a senior devotee is that you should pay obeisances to the sannyasi or a senior devotee even if he is not looking at you, but you should make sure you also do the pranam when he is looking at you. Right? Now, this was very amazing thing that I heard. And I started practicing it. Meaning what? For example, His Holiness Loknath Maharaj comes here and he is looking that side. I have looked at him, I have to pay obeisances. Right? And when Maharaj is coming here, make sure he sees that you are also paying obeisances. You can do Dandavat again. Right? It's very important. We express it externally also. We believe in it internally also. It's important, Prabhuji. I have done it and just stand up. He is not expecting it. But you are doing it to convey a message that Maharaj, you have come here, I am here to hear from you. My respect. And when he looks at us, he'll understand, oh, this person is following the parampara very nicely. He has accepted this parampara. Right? So, both the ways it works. So, here is a person who doesn't accept God or declares himself as God is already dead, as per the sages. So, killing him is not any sin. So, they killed him. He is doing more bad to the world by staying here in that consciousness. So, to re-establish the right person. And who came after that? Ritu Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Ritu Maharaj. What a... Pride, greed and selfishness makes one miss the opportunity to elevate one's consciousness by a well-wisher, good advice. Prabhuji, your pride is stopping you from receiving. Vena, his pride was stopping him from receiving the best advice from the very people who enthroned him. Right? He did not even have respect for them who enthroned him, and he spoke in such a bad way, and that was the reason for his downfall. Can you think of anybody else who was given the best advice? But Ravana, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, yeah. Ravana. Krishna and Dhritarashtra also, we'll get there. Right? Yeah, it's a very good. But Ravana, he was given the best advice. Vibhishana, he went into, what are you doing? Even before he kidnapped also, he was given that advice. After kidnapping also, he gave that advice. Hey, Ravan, you should not do this. You are my brother. You are a Brahmana. You have all the power. You have blessings of Lord Shiva. You have wonderful wife Mandodari. And you have so many more wives also. You have everything going right for you. And you are already cursed by Ramba. That if you try to force somebody, if you try to force and try to enjoy somebody else, you will die immediately. What are you trying to achieve by trying to go and get somebody else's wife? Don't do this. Ravan, don't do this. My dear brother, don't do this. Respectful. All the people around Ravana advised him. His wife advised him. His Vibhishan advised him. Even Kumbhakarna, after he was woken up, the first thing is he gave a feedback. Right? He told, hey, what are you doing? But still I'll do it because you have woken me up. I'll do my job as a brother. But what you did is not right. Even the person whom Ravana chose to use as a yantra to kidnap Sita gave feedback. Maricha. He told Ravan, what is this? Do you know Ram? I am giving you direct feedback. I received direct feedback from Ram. His arrow was so powerful, I was thrown yojanas away. 100 yojanas. Hare Krishna. Why? And you are going to deal with his wife? If you don't go, I'm going to kill you. He said, I think I have a better choice now. Rather than by dying in your hands, I'd rather die in his hands. Because he will kill me with compassion. You will only kill me with arrogance and your, whatever consciousness you carry. I better die in his hands. He went ahead. Not ordinary situation. Every character, if you see in depth, even Maricha, we can learn so much. Right? He ultimately gave his life for Ram. And Vibhishan gave the feedback. Hare Krishna. Here there is a beautiful 16th chapter in Yuddha Kanda. And Vibhishan talking to his brother. I'll just read it. You can hear it. Ram Navami is coming. So here is a Vibhishan telling Ravana, you are a brother to me. You utter whatever you like. Elder brother is like a father. Even if he is not staying in a right path, he is to be respected. But I cannot forbear these harsh words from you. Those who have an ill-composed mind and who get conceited to the occasion, do not assimilate the words of prudence spoken by a well-wisher. It's thick English, but he's trying to tell, I'm trying to be a well-wisher, you're not hearing me. Men who forever speak pleasing words are easy to be obtained. Is it not true? Chamche, you can buy chammach for how much? How many rupees? 10 rupees you can buy a chammach. Even a chammach you can, chamcha devotees also you'll get. Whatever you do, they'll tell, Prabhu, you're so merciful, Prabhuji. Really? Yes, Prabhu. You can easily find, isn't it? Prabhuji, kya tilak laga hai, Prabhuji? I mean, amazing. Even for tilak, you can fall down. I'm telling you. Because you don't know where Maya is attacking you, right? Prabhuji, the way you wear your dhoti, Prabhuji, the front part. Like istri, Prabhuji, perfect, Prabhuji. Nobody else wears. My God. You can go to any extent. Like kurta, you want to wear a colorful kurta. Prabhuji, the combination that you wear, that color versus this color, ultimate, Prabhuji. Actually, you are supposed to wear white and white. So there is no combination. There is no, to go to satsang, how much time you should take to decorate yourself? 1 minute. Because kya do? Wahi hai. Last week also, this week also. Hai ki nahi? I'm not looking this side. But that's their nature. That's okay. Matajis have to dress nicely. But Prabhujis bhi Matajis ki tarah kyun dress kar rahe re? Hai ki nahi? ये पहना वो पहना ये कड़क वो कड़क अरे बाप रे this way that way, so many things, right? So anyway, I don't know why I went that direction. So men who, where did I stop? Chamche, right? Men who forever speak pleasing word. I could not ignore you being destroyed by the noose of Yama, god of death, tied around you, and which snatches away all beings, as none can ignore a burning house. I do not wish to see you being killed by Rama with his sharp arrows, adorned with gold, and each resembling like a blazing fire. People who are valiant, strong, and skilled in weaponry, when times come, sink down, ruin, as a dam constructed with sand sinks down. As an elder brother, bear the words spoken by me, who desire your welfare. Guard this city and yourself along with the demons by all means. Let all be well with you. I am departing. Before he's going, he is wishing him all the best with all genuine compassionate heart. I am departing. Be a happy person without me. O Ravana, the ranger of the night, my words are not relating to you, who are being restrained by me duly desiring your welfare. Persons whose duration of life is to end, Do not accept the do not salutary words spoken by their well-wishers. Hare Krishna. And he walked out. These are the last words Vibhishan spoke before leaving that place. He told everything. He told everything. And did it make any difference to Ravan? No difference. No difference. Right? Hare Krishna. And when he went back to Ram, that's another episode. If I discuss that, the whole class will go on that. But there also, Lord Ram asked feedback before accepting everybody's feedback. And he considered Hanumanji's feedback as the best. Why? Who is the person who can give the best feedback? Your ever well wisher. Right? And sincere devotee, sincere understanding of Lord Ram's heart, he knew. So he told, please allow him inside, because he is a great devotee. Right? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Father of all feedbacks and father of bad receiver, Dhritarashtra. कौन नहीं बोला इसको? Right? Akrura gave feedback. Vidura gave feedback. Swayam Bhagavan Krishna gave feedback. Sanjaya gave feedback. Bhishma gave feedback. Vyasa gave feedback. Gandhari gave feedback. Drona gave feedback. Kripacharya gave feedback. Actually, space was not enough. Draupadi gave feedback. इतना फीडबैक सुनने के बाद भी अंधा कानून ही है. What's the point? Prabhuji, don't think. Why did Bhagavad Gita start with Dhritarashtra Vacha? It should be nice, right? Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Krishna knew that I am addressing all Dhritarashtras in Gachibowli. He knew. What is the scripture for? Where Puppalagoda Dhritarashtra? Who is? Anybody? Any Dhritarashtra from Puppalagoda? Any Dhritarashtra from Narsingi? Gaulidoti Dhritarashtra is here. I live in Gaulidoti Dhritarashtra. Prabhu, Dhritarashtra Vacha. क्यों start हुआ? There is a reason. He is addressing the Dhritarashtras of Kali Yuga, who are so attached to their wealth, their position, their education, blinded by pride. Dhritarashtra Vacha. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yutsava mamaka pandavaschaiva kim akurvata Sanjaya. First, he is giving feedback. He is asking for feedback. Kim akurvata Sanjaya? What did they do? And Sanjaya is giving feedback. But what is the use? Right? What is the use? Because unfortunate are those who do not have access to worthy advice. More unfortunate are those who care nothing for good advice even when available. One has to be humble to receive the suggestions from wise people for one's own benefit. Prabhujis and Matajis, if you are receiving feedback from devotees, you are the most fortunate because they care for you. If you take yourself to a point where you are not bothering to receive feedback, who is at loss? Tell me. Who is at loss? We are at loss. Right? Actually, after some time, if devotees are not giving you feedback, means you are the most unfortunate person. They don't tell you what is good for you. They don't want to tell also because, you know what? They understood this person he's not going to change. This lady is not going to change. Right? Who will give feedback? The person who cares. But if he stops giving feedback, like a parent stops giving feedback to the child, the child might feel, you know what, I'm more intelligent than my parents. But who is at loss? Child only. Child can also give feedback to the parents. But if he wants to receive that, right? The child is desperately telling, you are misunderstanding me. This is something, you hear it out. Without hearing, you reject it. Then who is at loss? The parent. Right? The parent. So same way, so many feedbacks are being given, but Dhritarashtra doesn't want to listen. Right? वो कहावत है ना, shout in front of a wall. It's like, what is that कहावत? हाँ? भैंस के सामने बीन मत बजाओ. हाँ, कहावत है ना. What's the point of chanting so many mantras or doing so many things in front of a person who is not interested to receive it? He thinks he's already a devotee. He thinks he's already done. There's no point. And people stop giving feedback. And stop giving feedback, that means what? Nobody can help you. So, are we as devotees taking feedbacks? Well, there are going to be pseudo devotees, right? People who look like devotees. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Kalidasas. There is a kirtan called Kalidasa. Heavy kirtan. Kalidasa is a person who will wear tilak also, kanthi also, but is a dasa of Kali. Right? Actually, I wanted to sing that kirtan, but I'm not good at singing that. And the purport of that kirtan I'm not able to find. If somebody finds, please send. One day we'll discuss that. I'm not able to find. I wrote to Radhesham Prabhu, Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, I wrote, Prabhu, somewhere send me a purport. I did not get it. Kalidasa kirtan. Right? But where are Kalidasas? Everywhere. Right? Pseudo devotees. They look like devotees. I don't know why they are coming to satsang. Prabhuji, I'm not trying to point anybody here. It can be me also. Right? So some of the things. Only want senior or popular devotee access. No advices. When senior devotees come, they'll come. When Maharajas will come, they'll appear. Not Maharajas, they will appear. Once Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he went to Pune temple, and every time Gopal Krishna Maharaj would go, Radhesham Prabhu was telling this in a class. So one person, he took a big garland, huge Balaji garland, and put on Gopal Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj had to bend down, so heavy garland. And then every time Maharaj comes there, he brings that big garland and puts it. He has tears in his eyes and he pays Dandavat Pranam and all that, and Maharaj embraces him and everything. And Maharaj asked, Prabhu, you are so much attracted to Krishna consciousness. How often do you come to the temple? Then he said, I come, Maharaj, many times I come. Then he looked at Radhesham Prabhu. He said, Prabhu, how often does he come to temple? He said, Maharaj, whenever you come, then only comes. Then Gopal Krishna Maharaj looked at him and said, Prabhu, more pleasing than this garland is when you come to this temple and take up some services on a regular basis. For me, that is more pleasing. What is the point in trying to, appear only when sannyasis come? Regularly going to satsang, wherever. Not, this center, that center, my gang, tumhara gang. There are no gangs in ISKCON. There is only association in ISKCON. Wherever, whatever is closely accessible to you, go there and take association, but regularly. Not once in a blue moon. Right? So, we should have that, only when seniors come, I'll appear. No, that's not right. In fact, once, who was that, Prabhuji? Gauranga Prabhu. He told once, when he came to a program, I think in Boston, if I'm right. So he came there, he gave a lecture, and after some time again he came, after 6 months or 7 months he came, he gave a lecture, and then after 1 year again he came, and this time when he gave the lecture, he actually called the Bhakti Riksha leader, come here. Bro, whatever you're doing is really working. I'm seeing people who came last time again coming. I'm seeing, and he asked, Bro, how many of these people, not in front of them, but after the class, how many of these are coming again and again? Devotees know what all tantrums we do. When Radhesham Prabhu, he knows when he's handling devotees. Don't think 300 people have come, Radhesham Prabhu is very happy. No, he'll call me. How many of these people appear regularly? How many are pseudo devotees? Kalidasas, who come here only when they want to come. Today I did not go to satsang because I don't want, I think I'm okay. Right? How many these okay characters are there? So they want to know how many are seriously coming here to make a difference in their life. Right? Matters a lot. keeps forgetting why I am coming to satsangs. This is another character of a pseudo devotee. He is listening to a lecture and suddenly he's like, wait a second, why am I listening? Why is he telling me? Are you telling me? Like they feel like that. Tries to be in the center, not in the center. Did you understand this? Or purport is needed? Tries to be in the center, but not in the center. Hari Bol. Creates groups to publish individual opinions. If he has a problem anywhere, he will not come and discuss. He will try to, Prabhuji, tumko problem ho raha na? You also facing, right? Mati, you're also facing, right? You're also facing, right? You're also facing, right? He'll create a revolution of facing. And then he'll go with that gang, he'll try to, influence the main person there. See, he will never speak for himself. Prabhuji, I think you should, because many are not feeling like this. Many? How did you know many don't feel like that? I did the homework. I created my gang before coming there. Right? Whatever your weakness is, he'll try to spread that weakness, or she will try to spread that weakness across certain people to maintain that gang. What is this? Pseudo devotees. They actually are not coming to change. They are coming here to change. They are not coming to ISKCON to change. They want to change ISKCON. Right? I don't think anybody can give lecture like me in ISKCON, because actually ISKCON people don't know how to give lectures. Right? People can go to that point, because actually they have no intention to change. They materialize the spiritual life versus spiritualizing the material life. Exactly opposite they do. Right? What is it supposed to do? You are supposed to spiritualize the material life, meaning simplify the living. Make it simple. Make it, simple living, high thinking, like that. But what they'll end up doing? Materialize the spiritual life. They want all materialistic enjoyment in satsang. They want materialistic enjoyment in satsang. They want, like good ambience. They want good. You might ask, Prabhu, then why did you create all this? Why did we create? Yeah, this is our duty to do it. But there should not be an expectation. Tomorrow, if nothing of this is there, only plain walls are there, will you come to satsang or no? Only one bench, one plastic chair I am sitting. All this is gone. What is more important? The topic? The topic, that's more important than the speaker. But people are more bothered about these things. Prabhuji, AC kaam nahi kar raha hai. Prabhu, ye nahi ho raha hai. They want to give costly gifts, expect costly gifts. In satsang. Ruin the whole purpose of satsang. Materializing. Some days back I discussed. Stop giving gifts on anniversaries. Done. Stop giving gifts on birthdays. Done. No. Pray for each other on these days. That's enough. Don't try to materialize your spiritual atmosphere here. Because then what will happen? One devotee actually can't afford to contribute. Now he is expected to contribute. There are 100 families here who are Krishna conscious. 100 families have 100 husbands and wives. And they have another 100 children below. So 200. And they will also have anniversaries also, then birthdays also. Then every week there is something. And for everything. Subhara Prabhu's anniversary, we gave a gift. Praveen Prabhu's anniversary is coming. And that fellow is thinking, the person who came I came to satsang to realize Bhagavad Gita. I never knew that every week I have to contribute. There is a peer pressure also now. How much that person gave? 100 rupees. He is not earning also. He doesn't have devotee care. He doesn't care for devotee. What did you do? What did you do? You just ruined the whole purpose of satsang by materializing a spiritual gathering. You had the same tendency when you were there in your material life. Receiving gifts, giving gifts. Same tendency you are copying. Prabhuji, but Upadeshamrita it is given, Prabhuji. What is that verse? Dadadi pratigranadi. Gohya makyati prachyati. Right? Prabhuji, you have to give gifts, Prabhuji, receive gifts, Prabhuji. Arey. Don't try to prove Sanatana Goswami wrong. He had a proper intention while he was giving it. He didn't know in Kali Yuga gifts will become mobile phones, Chandana brother saris. He didn't think like that. He said, gift with loving heart. Sometimes on birthdays, I see some, girls here. She makes nice greeting cards. She paints herself and Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Huh? Vrinda and Hansini. They make beautiful cards. Prabhu, that is a gift. Where you put some effort on it. Or write a letter. Write a letter for the devotee on birthday. Prabhu, this is my gift for you. That's enough. That's enough. Do something for the other opposite person's progress in spiritual life. Don't try to create a peer pressure to, ruin your environment. Materializing your spiritual atmosphere. Don't do that. Nobody cares whether you are a director or a chaparasi in this satsang. You can be anything in material life. Here you are trying to be, a dasanu das. That's it. Avuna kada? That's what matters. And try to focus on that. If you can sponsor something more than others, that's because Krishna gave you more money to sponsor. Do it. Don't expect others to do. What is this? That person, Chapanbog, she always brings one item only. I am bringing 10 items. No enthusiasm only. Of course, we should give feedback. See, as a Siksha Guru, you can give that feedback. That please, try to set a higher example, try to bring more items. That is good. But don't expect. Prabhu, so subtle, na? But pseudo devotees are there. What other features? Value certification more than surrender in satsangs. Certifications. Bhakti Shastri? Yes. Bhakti Vaibhav? Yes. Coming to satsang? No. Radha Tattva? Yes. Krishna Tattva? Yes. Right? Bhaktivinoda Thakur's great books? Yes. Coming to satsang? No. Certifications is more important than surrender. You think when Krishna is standing in front of Goloka and you are entering there, he says, show me your certificates. Krishna, I know more than you. What you know about yourself. I know your tattva, Krishna. I am tattva jnani. Krishna, who gave you that certificate? There are some devotees, I am sorry to tell. They told me that they want to do Bhakti Shastri. And they told me that I will be regular to satsang. I told Prabhu, Mataji, please be regular to satsang, then I will give you an approval to do Bhakti Shastri. They completed Bhakti Shastri, they only came to receive the certificate of Bhakti Shastri. And after that they are not appearing. Why did you do Bhakti Shastri? Whom are you going to show that? What is the purpose of Bhakti Shastri if you don't have any intention to serve devotees or be with devotees? काहे के लिए किया? प्रभु जी हम भक्ति वैभव ही करेंगे प्रभु जी. वैभव किसका? तुम्हारा भक्ति का? किसका वैभव के लिए? When I went and told Radhesham Prabhu, that after I think 50 of us during COVID time we got frustrated, finished Bhakti Shastri. Right? In 1 year we finished it. Something we did. No copying. We didn't do any copying. So after that Bhakti Shastri, I went and told in the same enthusiasm. People get that enthusiasm after finishing, Prabhuji, you do Bhakti Vaibhav also. Prabhuji, you do Bhakti Vaibhav also. Then immediately I wrote a mail. I have a mail I can show you on the screen. I sent Radhesham Prabhuji, many devotees are asking for doing Bhakti Vaibhav. Can we continue? I was also feeling puffed up. See, our satsang is the best. We have Bhakti Shastri also, Bhakti Vaibhav also. Prabhuji's feedback came in a beautiful way. He said, ask them to first follow for 3 years what they have learned. After that, kuttandra clap. It's not my it's not my sentence. A guru can see what happens in Pichiboli or Gachiboli. What these people are capable of. Right? Said no. No Bhakti Vaibhav. No Bhakti Vaibhav. Because he knows what too much knowledge can do Too much knowledge is also obstacle. Too much unnecessary reading of books, unnecessary certifications is not going to make you a better devotee. I'm not saying person who's doing that is wrong. I'm saying do that along with your regular seva. Don't do it because you think, what happens? You'll actually start giving feedback to the person sitting on Vyasasana. Actually, you become incapable of hearing anything because you are so puffed up with your knowledge. Prabhuji is not speaking the shloka properly. He has to learn Sanskrit. Is the purpose of ISKCON to chant shlokas properly or tell the translation properly or to understand or live that? I'm saying that is also important, but that's not the moola. Right? That's not the whole purpose. But people forget that. Too puffed up. Balgwan Prabhu once told me, he is uncomfortable when one devotee comes to the satsang because when he tells something, that person is already trying to tell. Prabhuji, that also you tell. That, Prabhu, you forgot to tell that. Or you're telling the shloka, she's telling the shloka number. You're only telling first two lines of the verse because that is what you want to tell. Last two lines she'll repeat or he will repeat. You forgot. What kind of a disturbance is that jnana? Sannyasis, when they cross their 80s, sometimes they don't choose to recite the whole verse. Or sometimes they can recite the verse in a way that is just being recited, but they focus on the translation. And some people sitting there are commenting. I think these days Maharaj is not able to recite verses, na? What do you say? Are baap re, where is your knowledge taking you? Right? Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, who recites so many verses, himself told that knowledge is a big obstacle when it doesn't come with humility. Don't get too much puffed up with knowledge. We are not here to gather books and books of knowledge and get certified. There is only one certification needed to go back to Krishna. Trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sahishnuna, amananiya manadena, kirtanaya sadahari. This is the certificate we need. Right? But it happens. It happens everywhere. He becomes envious of others' achievements and recognitions. He comes to satsang. Why am I not being recognized? Why am I being given services? Why not him? Why not her? Why not him? Why not me? Why not this? Envious. Pseudo devotees. Very dangerous. And if you think you are one of them, it's the time to correct yourself. When I was writing this, I was writing about myself only. So that's why I have so many points. Feels lost in between many, never recognized as part of any. Right? Where is my role in this satsang? Your role is to be with everybody. That's not enough. That's not enough. Right? Let's go forward. Performs activities for gaining attention. Performs activities for gaining attention. Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, last time he came, he told 3 activities don't do unless you're asked. What are those 3 activities? Kirtan, preaching, deity worship. Don't do unless you're asked. Because that will also create an artha in you. I think I can sing the best. That Mataji doesn't have any swara only. I will teach her swara. Okay, it can be a good intention. But are you puffed up with that? You think you are the best singer and satsang needs you only because you do that? Or I am the best mridanga player, I will only do kirtan? Prabhuji's, I am sorry to tell, in Mayapur, in Kirtan Mela, once I saw devotees fighting in that place, and others were so embarrassed to see that situation. They were fighting. The person sitting there was not leaving. His half an hour got over. The other person wants the mic because his half an hour starts. You only get half an hour to do your performance, unfortunately. It should not get reduced to that. That is a kirtan in front of Pancha Tattva. What are you there for? And he was snatching the mic. The person was snatching it back. He was determined to not finish his kirtan. And he was determined to start the kirtan in between the kirtan. Or not stop the kirtan. My God, it was such a situation. It can happen. And what you should do when you witness something like that? Krishna, save them, save me. Save them, save me. Pata nahi. No, I met, Krishna is showing me for a purpose. Right? Krishna is showing me for a purpose. Sometimes even that ego comes into preachers also. Right? Even like a good speaker, a good preacher will always ask the person who is calling him, Prabhu, how can I serve you? Can you repeat these words? How can I serve you? How can I serve you? That should be the intention. Prabhu, you are calling me to talk. Can you tell me how can I serve you? And the preacher, the person who is running that satsang will tell, Prabhu, this area I want you to talk. Because this area, I feel they are not listening when I am talking, but I think you addressing will be better. Or I need this help, so please take it. And you, as a invited speaker, should speak on that area. You know, I've seen some brahmacharis or grihasthas, whatever, seniors. You have given them a topic, they'll come sitting on Vyasa and tell, Prabhu, you gave the topic, but I'll not speak that. I will speak. Something came to my mind, I'll speak. Or I'll speak whatever I want to speak. Not attentive about the audience's requirements, not attentive about the person who called you, because you want to self-glorify yourself, giving the best seminar that you think you are the best to give. Right? What is that? Prabhu, Maya doesn't attack only non-devotees. Actually, Maya doesn't attack non-devotees. It only attacks devotees. Because idhar hi hai na main business. Some of us want to go back to Krishna. So she has to test us only, right? Right now in this colony, many people are watching mobile and TV in their house. You think Maya is there or here? Here! They are already in Maya. What is there to go? She is very much inside. Right? Her business is here. Always doubts the process of reaching the goal of satsang. Oh my God. Some devotees. Anything bad happens. Prabhuji, chanting काम नहीं कर रहा क्या Prabhuji? Prabhuji, after so much hearing, how can the devotee do like this, Prabhuji? Prabhuji, after eating so much prasadam, how can this happen, Prabhuji? He never had any confidence on the words of acharyas. A devotee can go through difficult times, Prabhu. A devotee can fall down. That's mentioned in Vedas also. Mentioned by Krishna also. But do you doubt the process because of that? Prabhuji, 30 years is chanting, Prabhuji. कैसे कर सकता Prabhuji ऐसे? He's chanting and working, Prabhuji. Have you heard anybody speaking like this? They are pseudo devotees. They never want to change. They are coming here just for time pass. They don't want to change. They don't have any faith in the words of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They don't have any faith in the words of Veda Vyasa. They are here to judge people. That's all. I mean, you can think like that oh, how can this happen to a devotee? You can think like that, but go and try to clarify and not see negativity, not spread negativity. You understanding? We are not here to spread negativity. प्रभु जी इतना बात करता है, खुद ऐसा कर रहा है. हो सकता है रे बाबा. Maya is strong. Offenses can make you do anything. अरे Akrura, who is worshipped for Archanam, right? Among the 9 pros of bhakti, Akrura is worshipped for Archanam. He is planning to kill, what is the king's name? For Shamantakamani. He puts a plan to kill Shamantakamani. I was hearing this from a senior devotee lecturer. I was like, क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? Akrura. And then he runs away and hides after he's killed. Can you imagine how a devotee can do that? Akrura can. What am I? What are you? Prabhu, problems happen. But process cannot be doubted, Prabhu. I was hearing from Maharaj. I forgot Maharaj. Is it? Prabodhananda Saraswati Maharaj. He's one of the initiating spiritual masters in ISKCON. He was telling, you are committing offenses only because you're not chanting properly. It's the mother of all offenses. If your chanting is bad, you have full capacity to commit offenses. Chanting is very important. Every day giving that time to fix your mind. If you're not doing that, you will commit offenses. What is the big deal about it? Right? You were committing offenses. By chanting, those offenses have decreased. If you're not chanting properly, offenses will come back. As simple as that. Prabhuji, then mera kya hoga? Kuch nahi hoga. Chant karte raho. Continue to chant. Beg for that taste. Beg for that attentiveness. Things will be fine. Always doubts the process. Prefers roles without any over responsibility. They want a role in satsang. Prabhu, I want to be a preacher. Prabhu, I want to be in charge. Prabhu, I want to be a temple president. Prabhu, I want to... They are more attracted to roles in satsang than actually taking responsibility. Meaning what? Prabhu, my role is to give a lecture, not to wrap up after the satsang. Wrap up somebody else will do. That somebody else is not able to do. I am walking out of this place. I am seeing the devotee struggling. I think my role I have done. Let the devotee struggle what he is doing. Ante enti? I am more role conscious than overall responsibility. I want to just get out of this place before the service comes on to me. You can always clarify. You can always say, I am not able to do this, Prabhu. I wish I could do that. But don't run away. Means what? You actually don't have any responsibility. You just want a role. I am important because I am doing my part. I will only come and do Kirtan. Kirtan is my service. World should know that I am the best Kirtanier. If I don't begin Kirtan, matta parataram nanyat. Nobody better than me, nobody equal to me. So, preferring roles. Comparisons not to improve but for recognition. You will compare this devotee, this, that. For what? Recognition. See, I am the best. See, I did everything right. See. Prabhu, did you see the home program that I arranged? Perfect everything. Look at the devotee, doesn't even know how to arrange home program. Prabhu, you are just ruining. Pseudo bhakti can easily crop in. Chooses the lowest standard to start any practice. This pakka pseudo devotee is glorified. Actually, you should bold this. What does it mean? After coming to ISKCON, I should not eat onion garlic. Ante kada? Onion garlic dinoddu. Santosh dabal dinochu. Some other daba I can go and eat. Onion garlic nahi kana. That is the only thing, right? No. Onion garlic cannot be offered to God. So you should only eat prasadam. That is the standard. But a pseudo devotee first looks for the lowest angle to understand. He'll never want to understand the top. He'll try to understand how to make it work. That is more important for me. Prabhu, grahasthas, sometimes you're going around, situation, office, you made it work. But is that a norm? Now? I have Govinda's restaurant here. I have Santosh Dhaba here. Where will I go? I should go to Govinda's. I have prasadam cooked in the house. I have something else available outside. What is the first preference? Prasadam. But a pseudo devotee will only see, Prabhu, what is wrong in taking that there? Idli, it doesn't have onion garlic. I'll have that idli. He will never want to understand the purpose behind the rules and regulations. He will only try to make it work. Are you all following what I am saying? Right? Pseudo devotees. Meaning they look like devotee, Kalidasas. They'll wear kantimala also, they'll wear kurta also, khandwa also, they'll wear like this, whichever way they'll wear. They'll do kirtan also, but deep inside who is sitting? A person who is not surrendered. Who is just trying to make things work. No resolution lasts longer than OTP. When an OTP comes, how much long it shows on the screen? Just up here, it goes. All the resolutions also like that only. It doesn't last for too long. It will just come and go. Khatam. Prabhuji, repad nunchi. Prabhuji, tomorrow, I'll. Khatam. Today night only gone. Prabhu, that's okay. You are struggling in spiritual life, that's okay. But are you sincere enough to change? When Indraduni Maharaj came here, all these disciples, around 25 of them came. They have a very single understanding between everybody. They will not honor Prasad until Maharaj eats. Khatam. Simple. Is that simple? Maharaj might get up and say, I will not have my breakfast. It's not like Maharaj wants them not to have breakfast. No, but their resolution. We will only eat after Maharaj eats. Finish. Khatam. Actually, that's the norm in Vedas. You know that? It's a spiritual, until spiritual master honors Prasad, you're not supposed to honor it. It's there. But in ISKCON, we have discounted, rediscounted, re-discounted to make sure that people stay. But rules are like that. You don't have a choice to decide whether you will come and hear from your guru or no. You are supposed to hear. You are supposed to be here. Khatam. There is no Prabhuji lifetime, Prabhuji balance karna zindagi. No balance, imbalance. You have to be here. Then only take initiation. Why you want to take initiation? Guru is in the city. You are going in your office. You are going. Arey, Guru has come to the city for what purpose? Huh? And you have taken Diksha from that Guru. What are you doing? What are you going around and doing? At least once in a year. At least once in a year, you should go and serve your Guru wherever he is in India. At least once. What is the greatest service you can do to a Guru? Here. In person. No, I am hearing recordings, Prabhuji. Your Guru is in Chennai. Prabhu, if he comes to Hyderabad, I will meet him. What nonsense are you doing? It's your responsibility to go and surrender to that Guru. Are you all following what I am saying? Yeah? Haribol, what's going on? Okay. Yeah, it's still a problem there. Hare Krishna. Okay, enough. Any more? Dual identity, both spiritual and material circles. Best of both. Pseudo devotees. Right? In satsang also I am the most popular. In material circles also I am the most popular. Right? I want to maintain both. Just the intention of trying to maintain both. Popularity, not importance. Popularity will ruin your spiritual life. It will ruin your spiritual life. I will not wear tilak. I will not wear Vaishnava dresses. Because, Prabhu, I am a devotee inside Prabhu. Arey, when you have a choice, why don't you wear? Okay, you are coming directly from satsang. You are wearing a pant. Where are you coming from now? घर से आ रहे ना? धोती का डोनेशन चाहिए क्या? पहनना नहीं आता क्या? What is the problem? Why? So best of both, na? Satsang here, dude outside. It feels nice. Why should I? I'm telling you, Prabhu, these are all things which accumulate. Your seriousness is not coming out. You want the best of both worlds. I want to be normal. We are all abnormal. We are trying to become normal. Why we are all abnormal? Because we don't know who we are. We don't know who is God. We don't know the purpose of life. Abnormal only, right? What is normal? Surrender. That is normal. So we should do it. We should do it. As an honor. Actually, you should see your seniors and you should try to copy everything that the seniors have. That is how we grow in spiritual life. How they are maintaining an altar in the house, how they are behaving in public, how they are behaving in private, how they are managing their office affairs, how they are managing, satsanga. Learn, re Baba. How else will you learn? How else will you learn? Can I try to become like my Siksha Guru? Can I try to become like my Diksha Guru? Can I try to become like all the inspiring gurus who are coming here? Undala undada, Venkatram? Undala undada. మరి ఎందుకు వస్తున్నారు అబ్బాయి ఇక్కడికి? నీకు ఆ ఉద్దేశం లేకపోతే ఎందుకు వస్తున్నావు? I don't even have that intention. Right? Women are supposed to dress in a certain way, keep their hair in a certain way when they come to satsangs. Learn that. Can't you see senior devotees? Have you seen any Mataji here, any senior Mataji who has come here leaving her hair like this? Have you seen anywhere? Never. Then why am I doing it? No, actually, Prabhu, ISKCON doesn't know how to do things. I know. Right? I know better. So, it's up to us. So, what to do with them? Okay, we're stopping it here. Show slow surrender and want surrender to be slow. Prabhu, change aitunnam kada Prabhuji? I'm changing, right? I'm changing, right? Who are you explaining? How long? Are you really planning to change, or you are just wanting to plan your surrender to be slow? Right? There are people like that. So what do you do with them? What do you do with such kind of devotees? They exist. You can see one in front of you today. Can you all look at me? You are seeing that person. What do you do for me? Em chestaru na kosam? Pray for me. Pray for them. Pray for them. Genuinely pray. When this pseudo devotee will actually become a devotee. Right? Because these pseudo devotees cannot be given feedback. Why did I even pick up this topic in a seminar of feedback? Because feedback cannot be given to these people. If you give feedback also, it will not work. It might come reverse also. Yeah. So what do you do for them? What is Krishna's plan for them? Does Krishna have a plan for pseudo devotees? Yes. What is the plan? Yeah, austerity is the last option anyway. So what is the plan? 2.40 Neha Vikramanashostri Pratyavayana Vidyate Trayate Mahato Bhayat. Right? Even little progress will not go waste. Right? Little dharma they follow is not going waste. He's further going in 6th chapter. He's saying the unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyment on planets of pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. Right? And further he goes, or he takes birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world, Arjuna. Prabhu, even a pseudo devotee coming to this satsang will become Ambani or Adani in next life. Krishna cares for everybody so much. Literally started. I will give him a good opportunity in next life. You understanding? Krishna goes further. Says, by virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles even without seeking them. Such an inquisitive transcendentalist stands away always above the ritualistic principles of the scriptures. He's saying how his next life will be. So today this devotee is not serious. He's trying to be like a devotee. Actually he's not a devotee. Don't worry about that. Krishna has a plan. What are you supposed to do? Take care of the devotee when he comes here. Even you know the devotee is not serious. You are here to serve the devotee. Of course, whatever points I'm giving on the left side can make you judge that person. But the judging is for what? How do you serve? Once I asked a senior devotee, Prabhu, why Rupa Goswami is telling about Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari. Why is he telling all these things? Why devotees have to be divided into this Adhikari, that Adhikari? Huh? Can anyone tell why? To serve them better. To serve them accordingly. Raju Prabhu, come here. I can't see that side. Just a little, yeah. Prabhu, differentiation in bhakti is needed so you can serve them better, not reject them. Are you understanding? He's a Madhyamadhikari. I think actually you should see everybody as Uttamadhikari. That's what happens, in the initial days. But later on, we start seeing, he's like this, he's like that. But when you see any problem in any devotee, senior or junior, what are you supposed to do? How can I serve him? How can I serve him? That should be the only intention. Actually, all the Vedas, are divided into 3 groups. right? Vedas that deal with the mode of goodness, Vedas that deal with the mode of passion, Vedas that deal with the mode of ignorance. And Lord Shiva deals with the Vedas for people who are in ignorance. How can I serve you? So look at the compassion of God, Bhagavan, that he is trying to serve everybody according to their consciousness. Right? So we can elevate them. And finally, 6.45, Krishna is saying, and when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contamination, then ultimately achieving perfection after many, many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. Hare Krishna. So Krishna is not letting go even a person who was not serious in spiritual life. What to speak of devotees who are actually serious in spiritual life? You are going to go back. Of this there is no doubt. Even if you are not serious, Krishna has full plan for you. But people who are not serious, who are appearing and reappearing or not appearing in satsangs, pray for them. And repeatedly call them. Please come. Please come. Very important, right? So, you should not give feedback to them. You should be very compassionate with them. Good intention, but bad receiver. Right? So, pseudo devotees come in the category of, what was Dhritarashtra? Pseudo devotee. When Krishna went and told, stop this war, all your 100 sons will die, dynasty will go. What did he say? Krishna, if in the destiny it is written like that, how can I stop? Huh? It was the biggest joke Krishna would have heard. Destiny na. I am Bhagavan. You are arguing with me saying destiny is more powerful. I am advising you. Don't do this. No, if it is written like that, then how can I stop? This is called situational, like situation you can't help. Anyway, now we'll get into the third. What did we finish? Good receiver, good receiver. Good giver, good receiver. Good giver, bad receiver. Bad giver and good receiver. Right? Can you think of anybody? Bad intention but good receiving. Huh? Suruchi, yes. Hari bol, very nice. Yeah, that's what happened, right? What did Suruchi do? Bad intention she told to Dhruva. Full bad intention. But how did Sunidhi take it? Good intention. Right? She told, if you at all desire to rise to the throne of a king, then you have to undergo severe austerities. First of all, you must satisfy the Supreme Personality of God, Narayana, and then when you are favored by him, because of such worship, you shall have to take your next birth in my womb. Her intention was not to make Dhruva a devotee. Her intention was you die. Can you imagine? Telling a 5-year-old boy that you die. If you want to sit in your lap of your father, you better die. There was no good intention in her. But when Dhruva went to her mother and he told, she asked, what happened? Tell me. This is what she told me. That I should go and worship God and die so that I can take next birth in her womb. Mother, this is what she told me. And what did Sunidhi understood out of it? He heard the most bad advice given with bad intentions. She saw the good part in that. She is your mother who told you best instruction, my dear son. Go and pray for the same Narayan that she told. Wow. Suruchi's intention in advising worship of Lord Vishnu to Dhruva was just to impress her husband. She wasn't a devotee of Lord Vishnu. Further, she was so proud and envious of Sunidhi. But Sunidhi, being a mature devotee, took the good part of Suruchi's words and told Dhruva to worship Lord Vishnu. She never hated Suruchi. What a devotee is Sunidhi. Bhagavad kya hai, Prabhuji? Huh? If you read Bhagavad, what kind of people are we? I mean, how many times have we celebrated the appearance day of Sunidhi? You don't even know when she appeared. Right? We celebrate so many appearance days, anniversaries and everything. But there are so many great Bhagavatas. hidden in the pages of Bhagavatam, who are not asking for recognition, but when you read Bhagavat, they purify your heart. Right? What a personality! In that situation also she is telling her son, if somebody tells, I will kill your son, or your son let him go and die, what is your reaction, Prabhus? Can you take that? Huh? How dare you tell that my son has to go and die? You will immediately get up and go and quarrel, right? What is the understanding of Sunidhi? She asked my son to die, but I am telling my son, I think her advice was right, that he should go and ask that from the Supreme Lord. Go. Amazing. Right? My dear boy, whatever has been spoken by Suruchi, your stepmother, although very harsh to hear, is factual. Look at her answer. Therefore, if you desire at all to sit in the same throne as your stepbrother, Uttama, then you give up your envious attitude and immediately try to execute the instructions of your stepmother. Without further delay, you must engage yourself in worshipping the lotus feet of the personality of God. Hare Krishna. Amazing. Isn't it? I mean, like, what a glorified scripture is Bhagavad. Huh? In that very moment, in that very situation, will our reaction be like that? Even though we are chanting 108 rounds every day? Can you react like that? When such a personal comment is made on your child? By whom? By your own, another wife of your husband. That itself is envious situation. On top of that, you are telling your son to follow that advice. Sometimes the words of a proud person may be truthful. This is the lesson that you should take out of it. Bad giver, good receiver. Sometimes, please repeat after me. Sometimes the words of a proud person may be truthful, but the intentions may be malicious. Although the heart of a person who gives a suggestion is mean, a noble person tries to recognize the good part of it. That is his greatness. Your greatness is not how people treat you. Your greatness is how you treat them. Right? Your spouse's behavior on you should not change your behavior on your spouse. Did you feel the earth shaking? Any earthquake came? This statement was so heavy, right? So heavy for me also. Right? And my spouse is in so close proximity right now. Your spouse's behavior on you need not change your behavior with your spouse. Actually think about it. Meditate on that and try to apply little by little. Not only spouse, anybody in life. Right? You can be happy when you are in your right behavior. But what do we think? We can be happy when everybody else is in that right behavior. Everybody around me should be in right behavior, then only I'll be happy. Prabhuji, yeah, it's good. Right? But that is how false ego works. That people are not good with me, so I have a right to be bad with them. No, you will be happy if you are good in all situations. You actually try that, when somebody is trying to be harsh with you, you can just have a laugh. That person will get frustrated. Why are you laughing? I am trying my best to provoke you. Why are you laughing? Hare Krishna. Anyway, not easy, but bad giver and good receiver. Another example, beautiful example, Ramachandra Puri. What an intention he had, and what did he end up doing? Now, how many of you know who is Ramachandra Puri? Yeah. So Madhavendra Puri is the spiritual master of Ishwara Puri, and Ishwara Puri is the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? So Madhavendra Puri had many disciples. Paramananda Puri, Ishwara Puri, Ramachandra Puri. Right? They all come in, the Shankaracharyas, that same lineage and mutt. And Ramachandra Puri had a very bad consciousness of judging people. Even though he was initiated by such a great spiritual master, he always had this, lot of puffed up about his knowledge, lot of arrogance and trying to find faults in others. He had so much. He did the first Vaishnava aparadh by actually speaking wrong against his own spiritual master. When Madhavendra Puri was a pure devotee of Krishna, was leaving his body, was in a very, very bad state physically, he was crying that, hey King of Mathura, hey Mathura Nath, this whole life I have tried to be a devotee, but devotion is not in me. When will I see you? I am dying without taking your darshan. He is crying like that. And Ramchandra Puri, his disciple, is sitting beside Madhavendra Puri and saying, Gurudev, you should focus on Brahman. What are you? You are already part of Brahman. Why are you thinking about that Mathura and everything? What is the point in trying to say that, you have achieved nothing in life? You already achieved. You are part of Brahman. Madhavendra Puri is like, what nonsense is this? He became very angry. He told you, get out of this place. Because if I die seeing your face, I have to take birth again. What kind of a disciple are you? Get out of this place. And he left. And Ishwara Puri took care of Madhavendra Puri in his last days, even cleaning his stool and urine, doing the most menial service. Completely surrendered to his Guru. And his Guru blessed him. That, I'm feeling so embarrassed that I'm taking these services from you, Ishwara Puri, but you are the best Vaishnava. You are the best Vaishnava. And see, the effect of a pure devotee blessing is that he became the spiritual master of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Right? When Krishna had to choose a spiritual master, he went to Ishwara Puri and said, I want you to be my Guru. And Ishwara Puri hesitantly, humbly initiated Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How can you initiate God? But Ramchandra Puri doesn't stop there. Because he has done Vaishnava Aparadh. He has done Vaishnava Aparadh. So what is the next Aparadh he will do? Aparadh against God also. Jagadananda Pandit, one of the most close associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who used to travel from Mayapur to Puri, and he also stayed in Puri, once arranged for a lunch with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramchandra Puri. And they used to still honor Ramchandra Puri because Ramchandra Puri is a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also used to treat him like a spiritual master, even though knowing that his heart is not clean. But look at what is the topic here? Bad giver, good receiver. So Jagannatha Pandit called them for a lunch, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is honoring, and Jagadananda Pandit tells, Ramchandra Puri tells Jagannath, why don't you also eat? You can also. Ramchandra Puri had this very crooked intention. He would call sannyasis or he would call senior devotees for a lunch or dinner, whatever. And then he would serve them. He would serve them more than they can eat. And they will eat because they want to please you. And after eating that, he would tell, being a devotee, how can you eat so much? Your senses are not in your control. Can you imagine? And he did that even with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He told Jagadananda Pandit, please serve nicely, please serve more nicely. Mahaprabhu is here, this is there. You also eat. All the atmosphere he created. And right after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate, he said, I don't understand why people are feeding sannyasis like this. If you feed like this, their senses will not be in their control. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just sitting there. The epitome of all sannyasis, Supreme Personality of Godhead himself taking sannyas, the highest standards. Mahaprabhu is sitting there. He just had his lunch and a comment is being made, what? How can sannyasis eat so much? And Mahaprabhu immediately reciprocated. I think you are my well-wisher. What you are telling is right. I should not eat so much. Hey Govinda, please come here. Tomorrow onwards, 1/4 of what you are giving me, I'll eat. And Govinda starts crying. Mahaprabhu's servant, Mahaprabhu, how can you? Why? No. Advice has come. I think I'm eating. Actually, many people who wanted to invite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because they can't invite God in every of their homes, what they would do? they would prepare some or they would buy some Jagannath Prasad and give it to the devotee who is inviting. And on everybody's behalf, Mahaprabhu would eat. Mahaprabhu is honoring Prasad to please everybody. He is not eating to, like same Krishna and Durvas Muni Lila, if you remember. Gopi is going from Krishna to Durvas Muni and Durvas Muni eats. And I will not get into that. It's a big Lila. So the point is very simple. Ramachandra Puri is trying to find fault in God. Can you see how worse it can go? When you start finding faults in devotees, one day you'll also find fault in God. Can you go back to Goloka in that situation? And Govinda started crying, what is the purpose of living in Jagannath Puri? If you are not going to eat Mahaprabhu, what is the point? And Mahaprabhu tells him, you're not hearing me properly. I am telling you, 1/4 of what you serve, I am going to have. If you are going to give me a morsel more, I will leave Jagannath Puri. Immediately, Govinda becomes stunned and all the devotees, their life and soul is honoring, taking care of Mahaprabhu while he is in Jagannath Puri, and they don't know what to do. And to make matters even more worse, Ramachandra Puri comes next day to Mahaprabhu's house. He comes there and Mahaprabhu is not there in that room and he sees ants. Can you see this picture here? He's showing on the ground. Mahaprabhu is standing. He's showing. Why are these ants here? No wonder somebody is having a lot of sweets here. He says, comment. No wonder. There are ants here because a lot of sweetmeats are being served. And a sannyasi who eats so many sweets, how can he control his senses? Can you imagine this being done in front of Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita? There's so much commentary on this, right? One who is attached to the dry speculative knowledge has no relationship with Krishna. His occupation is simply to criticize Vaishnavas. Too much knowledge. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is telling, too much knowledge. You're going to find faults even in a guru. Right? And these are beautiful verses. 1-2, Madhya Lila, 266 verse. Ramachandra Puri criticized Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating. Ramachandra Puri bhaye bhikshika ghataila. Vaishnavera dukha dekhi ardekha rakhila. Ramachandra Puri criticized Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eating. Therefore, the Lord reduced his eating to a minimum. However, when all the Vaishnavas became very sorry, the Lord increased his portion to half as much as usual. He decreased it to half, 1/4, and then looking at everybody crying. And in fact, Paramananda Puri, who is also a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, god brother of Ramachandra Puri, came to Mahaprabhu and said, Mahaprabhu, you're taking his word seriously? You don't know that fellow? He has entertainment with doing all these things. He'll make people eat and then he'll blaspheme about them. You don't take him seriously, Mahaprabhu. If you don't eat, what will Vaishnavas eat? By the way, Mahaprabhu, because you stopped eating, everybody stopped eating. Everybody in Jagannath Puri are only having 1/4 of the meal. Because you stopped eating. What is the purpose? Then Mahaprabhu said, okay, half. And the offense was so gross, right? Ramachandra Puri told Lord Chaitanya, such dry renunciation is not a duty of a sannyasi. A sannyasi eats as much as necessary just to maintain his body, but he does not satisfy his senses materially. And what is Lord Chaitanya's response? Lord Chaitanya was respectful to Ramachandra Puri and considering him as a god brother of his Guru Ishvara Puri, he said, please repeat after me, I am like an ignorant boy and like your disciple. It is my great fortune that you are instructing me. Only a person like that can tell Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Saishnuna, Amananiya Maradena, Kirtane. That is why he is God. Right? God is changing his decision to eat. Actually, God doesn't eat anything. What does he eat? He eats the love. Right? And he is changing the decision. And what is the result of these offenses? Ramachandra Puri left Jagannath Puri. He left. And right after he left, all the devotees came back. Mahaprabhu, now you should eat. Because we can't see you not eating. We want to serve you. And Mahaprabhu said, okay. But look at what Mahaprabhu is setting as a great example. He's setting a great example there, right? That even when the instruction comes from a wrong person, you see the essence out of it and you can apply it in your own life, right? A humble person sees good in the words of envious people without envying them. This, although the person who gives such a suggestion may not have good intentions, we can still see the suggestion in a positive light if it's worthy. If it's coming, in line with the instructions, in line with what your guru is speaking, even if it is coming from unworthy person, take it, na? It's a reminder for you. Are you all following? Yeah. Srila Prabhupada himself, he was installing deities, I think in Boston, if I'm right. Radha Gopi Vallabh. No, wait a second. I think it was Paris. This incident happened in Paris, where Prabhupada was installing deities, and while he was installing the deities, he came to install the deities and he saw nothing is arranged properly. He told, I'm coming, we are going to install deities, you have to have this, you have to have fire yajna set up, you have to have clean clothes to clean the deities, abhishekam arrangements, everything. All Prabhupada instructed, letter came, but somehow the temple devotees did not make the appropriate arrangement. Prabhupada got really angry because it's deity installation. It only happens once. And Prabhupada was like, I told you, you should have done this, you have done this. Why this is like this? Prabhupada is going on, explaining, and he was actually shouting. And there was one hippie, African American, Paris born person, who used to come to temple. And people, they told, please, you can also become a devotee, chant Hare Krishna. So he doesn't know who is Prabhupada. He just was introduced to Casey. He was looking at this old man shouting. So he came to Prabhupada and he said, hey, why are you shouting at people? Just chant Hare Krishna. Just can you imagine? Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru, the one who is establishing Krishna Ganja everywhere, he is shouting at everybody saying, what is this? Arrangements are not done. And this hippie from nowhere, who is just one day old in KC, somebody told him, chant and be happy. And he comes to Prabhupada and he tells, why are you shouting like this? Just chant and be happy. And you know what Prabhupada did? He actually took 2 steps back, sat down, and he started chanting. Right? That was Prabhupada's heart. Prabhu, you should understand what is Prabhupada's heart. He is such a caregiving person. He understood that in this situation, Krishna is telling me through him, just cool down. Right? Just cool down. In the initial days, people didn't know, much about Prabhupada. They would go and distribute Prabhupada's books. Their intention was so good to distribute. One person receiving the book asked, what is this book? He said, Bhagavad Gita. Who wrote it? A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. He said, what is A.C.? He said, always cool. He didn't even know it is Abhay Charan. He said, A.C. always cool. Our sannyasi, guru is always cool. Like that, Hare Krishna. So, even when the instruction came from the most unqualified people, Prabhupada took it as a message from Krishna, what are we? When Prabhupada was sick, he had severe heart problem, he was going through a lot of chest pain. A doctor came, devotees brought the best doctor in England, I don't know where. And the doctor, he looked at Prabhupada, he was not a devotee, he just came to see this old man. So he said, you are not maintaining your lifestyle properly, you should sleep properly. You should get up at the right time, sleep properly. And I think you should walk. You should. And disciples are looking, hey, what is this? You are speaking to our Gurudev. And Prabhupada just said, I am hearing your advice, doctor. And right after that, Prabhupada started daily massage for his body because his nervous, the blood circulation was not good. As per the advice of the doctor, daily massage. And daily morning walk. And today we have one of the best talks of Prabhupada in daily morning walks. Right? And see how Prabhupada converted a materially looking advice into a spiritual instruction. Coming right from Krishna. He just took it. Without any, judgment, he took it. Now we'll go to the last combination. Time is running, so last combination. इस पे ज़्यादा discuss करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है क्या? Bad receiver, bad giver. Both are bad. Right? Hare Krishna. Samudra Manthan Leela. Samudra Manthan Leela is happening. What happened? Nectar came out. And after nectar came out, what happened? Immediately the demons took the nectar. And demons started, I will eat, 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 I deserve, I deserve, I deserve, I deserve. And there were weak demons, there were strong demons. Now weak demons are looking at them. We also should get a share. Pakadarra. I want to eat. Right? I should get the nectar. Weak demons didn't know what to do. Who are they? Weak demons. Weak Rakshasas. They're Rakshasas only, but weaker Rakshasas. So immediately they told one big advice. Let us hear the advice. They got the nectar. Look at that advice. Some of the demons said, all the demigods have taken part in churning the ocean of milk. Now, as everyone has an equal right to partake in that public sacrifice, according to the eternal religious system, it is befitting that the demigods now have a share of the nectar. O king, in this way, the weaker demons forbade the strong demons to take the nectar. So what is the advice they are giving? They are going and giving the strong Rakshasas advice. Hey, everybody did that now. Actually, we should give some to the Devatas also. But it's not like they had favor towards the Devatas. Why are they telling that advice? Because if you give it to Devatas, we also have a chance of getting. So this is like, and what did they do after hearing the advice? Did they follow? They didn't care also. What nonsense are you talking? Why should Devatas get? No, they'll not get. So weaker demons are thinking, hurry, then how will we get? Right? So these are like advices. And look at the greatest Vaishnava, Vaishnavanam Yatashambhu, who just came to witness. He was not even invited for the Samudra Manthan, Lord Shiva. He's just witnessing. And poison came out, and voluntarily is going and accepting poison. Right? So the difference between a demon and Devatas and even, Swayam Lord Shiva. But you should understand, when the bad giver and bad receiver combination comes, none of them will take any advice. Both of them will do the same nonsense. Right? Can you think of any other combination like that? Surpanaka Ravana. Surpanaka Ravana. Let's analyze this. So Surpanaka had bad intentions. She made Ravana attack Sita, and Ravana also had bad intentions. He made sure that he took as an excuse. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Very nice, yeah. But the difference is both of them followed somebody's advice. But here is a case, nobody will follow anybody's advice. Bad receiver, bad giver. But that's still a very good example. Yeah. Now, here is a story of Sunda, Upasunda. You know the story? Now, these both Rakshasas, they were like twin brothers. They were like so loving and caring for each other. They both did tapasya to Brahma. And Brahma came and asked, what boon you want? And nobody should kill. Brahma told, okay, nobody will kill except both of you to each other. If there is anybody who will kill you, it will only be you killing him or him killing you. What a security, right? Already I am very good friends. Both of them are demons. Right? Nobody can kill us. And then comes a beautiful, Maya Devi. She comes in the form of a woman. And then what happens? One of them becomes attracted to her. He says, she is my wife, I am advising you. She is my wife, your sister. No, she is your sister, my wife. No, my wife, your sister, my sister, khatam. They both of them beated each other to death. Both their intentions were not good intentions. Was he giving a sister? Saying that you need a sister, so please take a sister. You need a wife, you will take a wife. No, both their intentions were wrong. Right? And both of them killed each other. Hare Krishna. And so is the case of gurus. Gurus in today's day and time. Cheater gurus. What is that? Bad giver? Bad receiver. Prabhupada says, don't approach a cheater guru. Better bluffer guru and be cheated. Stop this business. This has spoiled the whole spiritual atmosphere of the world. Take Guru, the Supreme Guru Krishna. Prabhupada is saying. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj said, There are 5 sampradayas. Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya. And 5th Sampradaya is the Sampradaya of cheaters and cheated. There are some cheaters going around. They want cheating gurus, cheated disciples. There are some cheated disciples who want cheater gurus to cheat them. So nobody is innocent here. Right? Modern society is a society of cheaters and cheated. Much of what goes on in the name of religion is cheating. Some people want to be cheated in the sense that they don't use their intelligence to discriminate and evaluate what they are doing. Right? So don't blame, Hare Prabhuji, that guru is cheating them. They also want to be cheated. How? In Appa Sampradaya, both guru and disciple are busy cheating each other. They are busy cheating each other. The cheater guru is telling something, they are busy following that thing. Right? If they want cheap spiritual path, Lord Krishna will fulfill our desire by sending best cheating guru. Right? You want cheap? You want anything cheap? You will get the cheapest guru coming to your house. He'll knock your door, throw some vibhuti on your face and he'll go. Rub it for the rest of your life like this. Right? He'll come. If you want to remain in this material world, then no guru can help us. Can a guru help? If you determine, Prabhu, I am actually okay with this world, Prabhu. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi is part of life, Prabhu. Kabhi Kushi? Andar. Right? Tararam pam pam. Kya karoge? What can a guru do? If that is how you want to be cheated. If we want to sincerely go back to Lord Krishna, can anyone stop us? If you want to go sincerely back to Krishna, can anyone stop us? Prabhuji, my husband, my wife, my boss, my parents, my in-laws. No, problem is with you only. The other day I was speaking to Balgovind Prabhu. Beautiful point he made. Strong point though. One lady is telling, Prabhuji, I have to cook non-vegetarian for my family. I am trying to tell them that eating non-vegetarian is bad, but they are not understanding. How should I practice bhakti? Now this has different levels of answers. But Prabhuji gave like the last answer that Mataji should hear. You know what he told? Actually, you don't have faith in what you're cooking. That is the reason you're not able to change your in-laws. Is it heavy? Heavy na kada? Prabhuji is completely one-sided, Prabhuji. One-sided kaadu, correct side. If your in-laws have diabetes and they want to eat gulab jamun, will you give? How will you go and tell them? How will you go and tell them? If you eat this, you will die. It will shoot up your sugar, you will die. You will make sure that they will not eat gulab jamun. You will go and take diagnostic center reports. You will put all your effort to explain them. Why are you not able to do it in case of non-vegetarian? Why are you not able to do? Because you yourself are not totally convinced. You are only trying to see faults in them. You are not compassionate enough to change them. Prabhuji and Mataji, it can happen. Provided you are clearly convinced that eating non-vegetarian means taking another birth like that animal. Of course, if they deny, they are not at all receptive to hear from you, then you can't do anything. But have you put your complete effort? And Prabhuji and Mataji, I'll tell you one thing. No matter what you talk about others, if you are sincere in practicing bhakti, people will reciprocate and they will tell you, do what you're doing, don't force it on us. I have seen families, and you will also see many places. They will tell, if you are sincere, Krishna reciprocates. Because there is Paramatma even in their hearts. Once Yugal Kishore Prabhu gave an example. One girl, she shared her situation in a hostel. She told, whenever my friends go for a movie, they ask me to come for a movie. And I tell them, please, I don't want to come for a movie. Because I am trying to practice bhakti, I don't want any diversions. And one of the girl was forcing that you have to come, you're a roommate, what kind of thing is that you don't do anything like us. And another roommate immediately came and stopped her, saying that she's trying to practice something that we are not practicing. Please respect her. Because the intention was so strong in her. Her message was very clear. The opposite person could feel the Paramatma in that person, could speak to that person and say, no, let's not disturb that person. Prabhu, it works. When we are sincere, we have nobody to blame in the world. When we are not sincere, we'll blame the entire world as a cause for my lack of progress in my Krishna consciousness. We have to be sincere. When you are sincere, everything will fall into place. A guru who does not give feedback only intends to exploit you. If I tell this fellow, he'll run away. కొంచెం గట్టిగా చెప్తే పారిపోతాడు. ఏం చేయాలి అప్పుడు? ఎందుకు చెప్పటం? I want a gang, right? How big is the gang now, Prabhuji? अपना गैंग कितना बड़ा है? हाँ? माता जी कितना बड़ा गैंग है अपना? That is what the thinking process will be. Right? I will not tell any feedback to anybody, because if I tell feedback, this fellow will run away. So let me maintain the gang. I gave this much donation also, right? Once Prabhupada became so heavy, in between a conversation, he shouted and told, you take your donation and get out of here. You think you have bought me with your donation? No. It's so dependent on Krishna. We can't buy anything in satsang with a donation. We can only buy service. We can only beg for service in satsang. Because this is the only gateway to go back to Krishna. Let's not get puffed up for any of these things. That, I have done something, I should not be corrected. Then don't come to satsang if you don't want to be corrected. And if correction can come from whom? Anybody in satsang. Krishna can speak to you through anybody in satsang. That is the best part. You should be ready. The first concern of a demoniac person is personal sense gratification. These materialistic people regularly compete, fight, disagree, and war among themselves. Unless they are trained to satisfy the sense of God, they cannot be at peace. So Prabhujis and Matajis, if you are not serving Krishna, then you are bound to commit offenses. You are bound to. You can't stop yourself. So what is the best combination of feedback? Good, 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 bad, bad, good, bad, bad. What is the best combination? Don't doubt है इतना obvious thing क्यों पूछ रहे हैं? कुछ तो है. Huh? Yeah. Pray for the best combination of feedback by the mercy of God. Whichever way it comes, be ready for it. Just pray that, whichever way it comes, Krishna, I am ready for it. Let it come to me. Even the person with the most bad intention might come and tell, it is coming, let me take it as a feedback. Right? So here is a great story of Kashyap Muni and Diti. Diti came and told Kashyap Muni, we'll end with this is the last thing. Kashyap Muni came and told, Diti came and told Kashyap Muni, I want to union with you. At the most wrong time, when the sun is setting, it's dawn, it's like evening time, when all the ghostly beings come into the sky, all the ghostly atmas are waiting. Where should I enter whose body? And if during that time, if a male and female do the union, Lord Shiva will be very angry. Because he's trying to manage these characters. And he tells that to Diti, don't do this. It's not right. And Diti says, no. And he also becomes weak-hearted and he agrees for it. And the result is what? Right? One architect and one engineer. Who wanted to destroy the entire planet, architect. An engineer was devising to control everything with his coding, whatever you call. I often give software example because people are very puffed up with software. So, क्या करें? किस तरह से? So, understand this. Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu took birth. And then after that, what happened? After that, Lord Vishnu himself appeared and killed both of them, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And Indra was very happy. Yes, now the Devatas can be, because both of them came and created so much disturbance for Devatas. And Diti, she became so angry that, I want a son who can kill Indra. I want a son who can kill Indra. And she went and asked Kashyap Muni, second time. He was nicely doing a tapasya. Already one nonsense happened. Hiranyakshara and Hiranyakashipu gave. Again she is coming and asking, please, my dear husband, give me a son who can kill Indra. And this time he felt, now I think I should give some feedback. But I will give the best feedback. Is it a good feedback? Good bad feedback? Bad good feedback? Bad feedback? What feedback did he give? Good bad? Yes, good bad. And some to good also. She also wanted a feedback. She wanted something, right? So he did the best thing. He told, okay Diti, I am giving you a feedback this time. You will get such a son, but first do Lakshmi Narayana Vratam. Right? Kashyap Muni reacted differently at different time and gave his feedback to Diti. Diti differently. First time, agreed to associate knowing she is not in a mood to take feedback. He himself also did not have the sufficient self-control. So he gave up at that time. But he also knew that she is not in good intention. Right? Second time, maturely deliberated sound, second time, by asking Diti to perform Pumsa Vana Vrata and worship Lakshmi Narayan. The result is the birth of 49 Maruts and the change of heart of both Indra and Diti. Right? So she worshipped Lakshmi Narayan. Just imagine, what will happen if you worship Lakshmi Narayan? What will happen if you chant Hare Krishna every day? What will happen if you create a spiritual atmosphere around you? You get a great progeny. Indra became even more tension. Indra, she has prayed. She's become a pregnant after doing Lakshmana Vratam. She has a child inside who is going to kill me. Indra entered her womb and cut that womb into, like that fetus into 49 pieces. And the 49 pieces became Maruts, great devotees of Krishna. And looking at those devotees, Indra became like totally surrendered. That, Are, such beautiful devotees are taking birth from the mother, Diti's womb. He went and told in front of Diti, now you can do whatever you want to do. You wanted a son who can kill me? I am ready to be killed. Because I wanted to kill your son and I landed up seeing great Vaishnavas. And immediately Diti, looking at Indra's surrendered situation and the Maruts who took in birth from her, she told, no Indra, I think my intention was wrong. I did not understand what I did. And I don't think I want to kill you either now. This is a story in Bhagavad. You can read the whole, detailed analysis of this. Prabhupada gives wonderful purports. But what is the takeaway from this? What is the best combination? He had a bad combination, he had a good combination, but in the ultimate combination that worked is where he connected Diti to Krishna consciousness. Prabhuji, no matter how we are getting the advice, good or bad, how we are receiving good or bad, keep God in the center. Keep Krishna in the center and everything will become auspicious. Everything will become auspicious. Right? So the goal of this seminar is not that I'll go and start finding who is giving good feedback, bad feedback. These all things will keep happening. In Kali Yuga, this is what will happen. Kaler dosha nidhe rajan asti hi eko mahan guna. Only one mahan guna. What is that mahan guna? Kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha samachara. Just make people do kirtan. Whether they're coming with good intention, they're coming with bad intentions, they're coming with you have good intentions, you have bad intentions. As long as we are following the ABCD, as long as we are following the association, Bhagavad Gita, chanting and good diet of prasad, right? We are good. But if these four things you are discounting it, saying, I think it's okay, Prabhu, association is okay, kabhi hoga, nahi hoga. I think, Prabhu, I'm too busy to come to satsang. Who is at loss? And if you don't, then what will happen? Even though somebody wants to help you, nobody can help you. The first slide was what? God wants to give us feedback. Yes or no? Yes. Through whom? Through devotees. And if your ultimate good advice, bad advice combination is not allowing you to come to satsang, or you're finding reasons not to come to satsang, then what will happen? Repeat after me. Receiving feedback and working on it is an art which requires humility, honesty, and sincerity. Giving feedback. Giving feedback for someone's mistakes is also an act which requires responsibility, maturity, and a well-wishing heart. Repercussions can come. When you give feedback, repercussions, but do your feedback, keeping Krishna in the center. Chitraketu Maharaj also gave a feedback. He was nicely going around in the sky. He looked at Lord Shiva, Parvati Ma sitting on the lap. He gave feedback. Hare, you being such a great Vaishnava, you are keeping your wife on the lap and that too in front of rishis. When you are talking about renunciation, what a great renunciate Shambhu you are. Actually, he praised Lord Shiva. He didn't blaspheme. He was amazed that what a guru you are. Even keeping your wife on your lap, you are able to talk about renunciation and mukti. And so many are your followers. Oh, great Shiva. And what was the repercussion of that? Parvati Ma found it as an offense. How dare you publicly tell such ill statement about my husband? You will take birth as a demon in next life. And how did he take that feedback? Thank you very much. And he became Vritrasura. And by becoming Vritrasura, what happened? He went back home, back to Godhead. Right? So he just kept Krishna in the center. Prabhu, Bhagavad is filled with receiving and giving feedback. Just now I got a feedback. Just to kanti choop zalande, khatam, finish. Right? Feedback is the class is over. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. So today we are celebrating the anniversary. There is Pushpabhishekam also. Right? So